Hello everyone, my name is Brian and welcome back to Barb's Vault. Today in the vault we're going to be talking about fusion cores. So if you're anything like me, I'm sure that you saw, the box art for Fallout, you saw a guy wearing power armor and you just thought, I need to get that immediately. Fallout 76 is no different, but like Fallout 4, you need fusion cores to constantly power your power armor. So today we're going to be discussing how to farm them super effectively and basically never have to hunt for fusion cores again. Today's video we're going to be discussing workshops, why you should claim them, and then which ones you should be claiming to get fusion cores. Okay, before we claim these workshops, the first thing we're going to want to do is to go to the White Spring Mall and purchase the plans for a fusion core generator. So these can be a random drop from these power-up events, but if you still haven't gotten it, there are multiple ways you can actually just go and buy it if you have the caps. So the hub of trade in the Wasteland is the White Spring Mall. We're going to go ahead and go there. Okay, so here at the White Spring Mall, the place that I usually went to buy these for all my friends was here at the Free States vendor. So right here, talk to this guy. So I actually know these plans, so they're going to pop up as already known for me, but they will not show up like that for you. Right here, boom. 178 caps. If you have on like all your charisma perks, it might be a little bit lower than this, but yeah. Super easy to get. Okay, so the three workshops we're going to be focusing on is there's one really far out here to the east that you probably don't have access to right when you come out of the vaults. That is Thunder Mountain Power Plant. Next up is Monongah Power Plant, which I always feel like I'm saying incorrectly. It's just one of those words that just doesn't fit right in the mouth. Last but not least, because it's going to be the closest one to you, and honestly probably the easiest one to fight away enemies, is going to be Poseidon Energy Power Plant, which is all the way to the southwest. So we're going to go ahead and head over to Poseidon Energy right now. Okay, so spawning in here, you see that we have an event going on, powering up Poseidon. I would say that you should do these events if you've never done them before because they can unlock a lot of great plans, give you a lot of great resources to farm, but the one thing I will say is be careful when you come over here, especially if you're a pretty low level. There is just a ton of Scourge, and then the real concern is all these landmines. Less a concern for me because I got the marsupial perk, so I can just kind of like jump over every single one of them. So most of the time they're gonna have enemies that have spawned in here. Go ahead and head through here and just wipe these dudes out. So you can see we walked in from over here just all the way through the fence. You're gonna be looking for this guy right here. So it is signified for me right now because there's an event going on, but a lot of times this won't be signified, but just make sure you're looking for this guy. We're gonna go ahead and claim this. Gonna give us a little timer to count down. So once this is actually claimed, it's gonna work exactly like your camp would work. You're gonna have building options. You can put basically everything that you could in your camp right here as well. And what we're gonna be searching for at all of these is this guy right here, this beautiful son of a bitch. So again, like right when we come in, just hook a left and you can immediately find this guy right here. So this was like one of like the big hiccups for me, was finding where these things actually were in the first place. But yeah, you can see there, completed that quest, got tons of great stuff. So we're going to be needing to power this guy up, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at this dude. Going to go ahead and plant this guy down because these things require 100 power. And this thing luckily gives off 100 power. We got number one out of the way. So we're going to wait for this guy to spawn some fusion cores. And I believe it's like one every 7 minutes or something like that. And it's just going to do that passively in the background. But before we leave, I'm actually going to go ahead and plant down some defensive measures. Now, if you're really early in the game, you might not have all the resources to constantly make these things. But the further you go along, it's just, you're just chock-a-block with all of the defensive tools you could possibly need. So I'm just going to plant these guys down because we're going to get notifications that we need to come back and defend this place. And generally, I don't want to have to come back here like every, 10, 15 minutes and defend. But if that's not an issue for you, feel free to just go ahead and pop away and just do your thing. All right. Next, we're going to go ahead and go over to Monongah Power Plant right here. Okay, so we get the exact same event that we got over there at Poseidon Power. We're going to run straight through here. And I want to show you guys how to actually run up to these because when I first started doing it, I would constantly get lost. I'm just like, come on, where is this place? I'm just going to come straight through here. Hook a left. And we're going to have some unfriendlies up in this place. Some ghouls. Look out for these dudes because they hit like an absolute tank, especially if you're a lower level. Come on. Where'd you go? Come here. You thought I was just going to let you live? Come on, man. You're a zombie. Alright. So you just run all the way through this fence, run through the ghouls' defensive line. Again, we're going to claim this dude. And I'm sure you've seen the icons that are around the map to claim these workshops. Don't be afraid to claim them. I know that if you're new to the game, you're sort of intimidated by all the mechanics they have in this. Just feel free to test everything out. There's no reason not to. So we have this generator right here, or this processor, I should say. Once we finish claiming the workshop, we're going to do the same exact thing. And I actually always place my generator up here, just because then it's nice and out of any ghoul's reach. Boom, there we go. Power you up. Bang. All right, now we got another one working for us. Then finally on our list is this boy over here, Thunder Mountain, which is really far out east, and you're more than likely not going to want to roam around in this area if you're below level 30 or so. There's just a lot of, like, you know, high level enemies that can really just punch you right into the ground. Let's go check it out. Okay, and we see that each one of these we have actually gotten the powering up quest, and if you're just passively getting these things, you're going to be unlocking rewards left and right. So this one was by far the most confusing one to actually find where the workshop is actually unlocked to like an annoying degree. Like, I was actually pulling my hair out because I don't know where the hell this thing is. So let's clear out these scorch really quick, and then we'll go back over here and claim the workshop. So we entered in right through here. We're going to take an immediate right and find this bad boy right here. Now, these indicators will not always be here. They're only there when the event is going on. So sometimes they can get a little bit confusing to find. All right, now we're claiming this guy. This is a huge area to have to cover. So honestly, I usually don't put down any defensive measures over here. I'll just fast travel over and kill everybody really quick and then move on. But a lot of these workshops have a secondary resource to mine here. So we have crystal outcropping that we can put a extractor on right there. All right, we claim this guy. All right, power this guy up. Okay, so now we have 3 fusion core processors going at the same time. So these guys, like I said, will generate, you know, like one every like 7 or so minutes. Okay, so back here at my camp, we're gonna take a look at this item right here called a fusion core recharger, and it does exactly what it says. So you can see here inside the actual system itself, I have 36 fully charged fusion cores. And if you're just starting out the game and you find 2, and then both those get depleted, and you hear your power armor blinking at you, bam, 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 the whole time, nothing more annoying than that. The thought of young Brian, fresh out the vault, having 36 fully charged fusion cores, I'm basically the wealthiest man on the planet, you know what I'm saying? So this is a great item. The only unfortunate part is that it is a paid atomic shop item. You have to pay for it. But if you have Fallout First, you can build up those atoms, and I would say probably spend your money in a smarter way, in the sense that I wouldn't just necessarily just buy cosmetics. If I had Fallout First and I was letting those atoms recharge, I would get stuff like this. It's more of like a convenience as opposed to just a look. And the great thing that it does is if you come over here to your stash box, it just takes these directly out of your storage in your stash box and just charges them. So look at that, 36 fully recharged fusion cores. Okay, class, so to recap some of the things that we talked about workshops, how and why I should claim them, how to defend them, which ones have fusion core processors, and how you can basically just loop this in an infinite loop to continuously have fusion cores and never need to look for them again. But as I always say, I may be knowledgeable of the game, but there are people who know way more than me, so maybe there's a different way to farm some of these fusion cores. Maybe there's other ways that you can do on top of doing this already. So if you have any of those thoughts, make sure you go down to the comments and you look and see what other people are saying. There's probably somebody that either has more to add on to this, or maybe they know other ways that you can farm even more fusion cores. So make sure you check out the comments below. Like I always say, this community is so warm and welcoming and inviting, so feel free to reach out to other players and ask for advice. But that's all for today. Make sure that you like the video and please subscribe. We're going to be doing some streams coming up here soon. I got my main gaming PC, a new motherboard because my power supply caught on fire. So we're switching out the power supply, we're switching out the motherboard, and we should be ready to rock and roll at some point this week. Till next time, I love you and I appreciate you.